now to the debate in Iowa last week, when all 8 candidates said that they would reject a 10-to-1 deal when the new super committee comes out. Would you reject a 10-to-1 deal?
Well, 10-to-1 deal meaning
Well,
$10 of cuts?
10 parts of spending reductions
For
one
$1
part of revenue enhancement.
Yeah.
And I understood that all 8 stood up there and held up their hand and said no deal.
I have
And
to
I'm
admit,
wondering how you would respond.
I watched most of the debate. I have to admit, I fell asleep at about a 30-minute portion of it.
It's been in the newspaper.
No, I'm aware of it. I didn't see it firsthand.
No, I understand.
But I am aware of it. I happened to catch it, a couple days later.
Yeah.
Here's how I answer that question. I don't feel that we need to raise rates, but I do think we can raise revenue. So I don't know if that answers your question, but I think we need to have spending reductions.
Why not rates? What's wrong with rates?
How do you raise revenue?
I think the way you raise revenue, I mean, my personal feeling is that, look, the government gets about $2.2 trillion in revenue today. We're spending about $3.7 trillion. The way I have always tried to manage a small business or a city is to match your expenditure with your revenue. And I don't feel that raising taxes has to be the first option. I think that there are many other options and alternatives before you raise tax rates. Now, what I feel is that it can be regressive to raise taxes on a small business owner, particularly here in New Hampshire, when 75% of our economy is driven here in New Hampshire by small business.
How about General Motors?
$50,000. It's only the first dollar.
How about
The
GE?
beginning of the bracket.
What I prefer to see is an opportunity where we get, a high percentage of those individuals who are out of work back to work. That in and of itself will reduce expenses on the federal side and increase revenue. But I also think that there's got to be a different environment, legislative environment coming out of Washington that will allow our job creators in our country to utilize the dollars that they have at their fingertips. Now, again, maybe you have a different perspective. I respect that. But I feel that that is a far better way to generate the long-term revenue stream that we need while we're managing our expenses.
In the
It's the
meantime, we
same
need
thing.
help. Most small businesses are never even in the bracket
Let me-
of which we speak.
Let me try
They
to
never
go-
reach that.
Okay.
And when they do, it's only the first dollar above $250,000 that is taxed at the higher rate. So it is really very misleading when you say our small businesses need to be protected. They already are. Because 80–90% of them never even have taxable income at the rate we're talking about. So it is really very misleading, and I'm really sick of hearing this misleading stuff.